BSO kinfolk, you got T and Z back here, giving you some more of that heat. Today, we have, as you can see on the screen and by the title, we have Kendra G. On the heels of the, let's say, dust up on the Tamron Hall show she had on Valentine's Day, she feels the need to come on to the interwebs and defend or clap back, whatever's the case. And in the, process of fairness, we covered her on the show. We're going to cover her, giving her side of the events that took place on that fateful day. So this should be interesting. Without further ado, let the show begin.
Child, listen, I have decided to do this video because I really did not realize how many unintelligent people are on the internet. This is a meme that someone created, and it's a snapshot from my Tamron Hall interview. And I am finally going to break down my Tamron Hall interview because so many people are reporting on it, but they're reporting on it leaving out very important factual information. Instead, they're trying to create a narrative about me that simply just isn't true. Okay, hey, Tamron girl. Now, first of all, I was requested by Tamron Hall herself to do this show and this episode because Tamron Hall is a Chicago media girl. I am also a Chicago media girl. I have known her for years. Let's start there. Secondly, the topic of the show was to break down popular 2025 dating trends. Myself and another young lady were there to break down different meanings behind different dating trends and styles. In advance, Tamron Hall's producer sent me a list of different topics we would discuss. It was requested that I would be prepared to break down any trend that Tamron throws at us. Actually, Tamron even tells you this on the show, you goofies. If you was watching it, take a listen.
Okay, so my team found 2025's most talked about dating trends and catchphrases. These ladies are going to break it down. I gave you some of them at the beginning of the show. So don't feel badly if you've never heard of them, because I had never heard of them either. And I didn't look them up because I want to know how you define it.
Okay, for those who might still be confused, Tamron Hall just set the tone. She is going to throw different dating trends and styles at me and the other young lady, and we will break down the definition behind that style. The first one that Tamron Hall does is called future proofing, and she asked me directly, Kendra G, to break it down. Take a listen.
These ladies are going to break it down. I gave you some of them at the beginning of the show. So don't feel badly if you've never heard of them, because I had never heard of them either. And I didn't look them up because I want to know how you define them. Future proofing.
Yes.
Kendra.
Oh, you got to have a job. You have to have an ambition that's going to go somewhere for sure. I want to see W-2 forms. I want to see success records. I want to meet your mama. I want to know where you live. Is it in your name? Is it? I need to see the lease, because sometimes
Kendra, I'm not good enough to date it. If I were, let me tell you, because we're talking about it from the female gaze to the male. I'm just talking in general. If I had gone on a date with someone and they started asking me about my W-2s and my bank account, they would have been seeing the gas come out of the pipes of my car. Because that's too, I'm intimidated now.
Well, because women are tired of wasting their time. I'm talking from the woman's perspective. So they're like, I don't want to make you be already made. I don't got clay. I'm not magic.
But guys don't want that either. They don't want to make us.
Well, true. But the thing with guys,
and they don't want a broke lady.
Well, no, I don't know though. Some men.
Guys, I'm speaking, but I just speaking because I heard you say it.
I don't think men want a broke lady, but they also don't want a lady that's going to be too expensive. You know, wigs is $2,000. Lashes is $300.
Okay,
you know,
are you easing into high maintenance?
Yes. Well, I think that, yeah, that's real high. Real high.
And you're owning, so 2025 people are owning the high maintenance?
Well, women feel like this is what I do for myself, so a man has to be able to do the same or more.
Why can't you keep doing it for yourself?
I agree with you, Tamron, but they're like, why if you here? If a man is here, why am I?
But you're not here for my wigs.
But they're feeling like this. Okay, I'm showing up for you. I'm giving you my energy. I am in your presence. You should pay for this. Now, I'm not saying
So with this clip, Kendra is trying to say, Oh, I was just asked to come there for dating trends. I'm speaking on the behalf of all Black women or all women in general. These are not my views. These are women in general's views. But you, the 304 fairy,
Hello.
you the 304 whisperer.
Hello.
You, you're just. They have the same standards and expectations that you do.
Of course. And that's where the rubber meets the road for me and Kendra, being this whisperer and this voice. Like, she's sitting here, and this is just another failed attempt. In my book, this is a failed attempt. But I'll let y'all, pick that up and take that, run with that wherever you want. She's just trying to separate herself from her guest. Is she not Black? Was she not dating Ashy Foot? So she's into these same evils or same mentalities and stereotypes or whatever trends you want to put it. She fits right in there too. She's trying to say like, oh, that's what they think. That's not what I think. But we know, see, again, what she said, that's what she said. But we know what she means. We watch the show. We watch her bleed herself onto the platform. She doesn't just host the show and just a hard data and this is that and that's it. She doesn't do that. She makes the show about herself. She embodies the women that come on the show. She is one of them, but she's now saying that she's not. What she said out of her mouth on the show is how she said it. Women feel like this, women feel like she's included in that, but she's trying to exclude herself. So make that make sense. Anyway.
Wait a minute. This is getting spicy in here.
But I'm with you, Tamron, because I feel like I'm on money.
Don't back up now, Kendra. We got some groans, we got some applause, we got some moans. Alana's coming back with us. I didn't know the Valentine's Day was going to get this hot. We'll be right back.
Okay, so this is a part of the interview that got the internet in a chokehold, child. So a couple things. First of all, I was explaining what future proofing is for the woman that walks that way, okay? I was not talking from the Kendra G perspective. Listen, brokies, I don't ask men to take care of my wigs and my makeup and my lashes. I know most of y'all men can't afford it, okay? Let's just have the heart-to-heart conversation. So no, I am very proud to say that I am a woman that can take care of herself proudly and has always, and I am happy that I can do so. If you watch this interview, you know I'm not talking from the first person category. I say they. There's a moment when Tamron even says, why can't you continue to pay for your own wigs? I literally say, I agree with you, Tamron. Women feel like this is what I...
Kendra, you would have us to believe that after your dealings with King Ashy Foot, king of the scammers, that you not asking for W-2s now?
Thank you. And this is the same woman that told us out of her own mouth she's got $1 million box.
Right.
It's only the finest quality. It only attracts millionaires and billionaires and all that. So you saying that doesn't define you. So why would you want to have a rich man if he has no participation in the money or the dealings or any of that, the ensemble, the aesthetics, any of that? He's just rich just for you to say he's rich. You don't have any requirements. This is false. Again,
yeah.
You know how she could prove this to everybody? Why don't you date somebody that has less than you? She won't do that. She will not do that. She would never do that. And the reason she got into it with Prince Ashyfoot is because he presented it like he had something. She's just as susceptible and easily to be beguiled as anybody else because she's chasing the same thing. Hence, again, she is one of them. She's not because she got a little money. She's just a bird and designer. She's chasing the same bag. And she said it on the show. No matter if you work in Wall Street or the Piggly Wiggly, everybody want a rich man. Again, you're not a black woman and you're not in the dating scene. So you're exempt. This don't apply to you. No, this might not apply to Tamron. This might not apply to the other young lady or the other lady that was on the show because they're married. They're not in the dating scene. You are. And we just seen you fall flat with Ashyfoot. So for you to come up here, again, here we go again, to separation. Now, I'm not me. That's them. This is the woman on the not me. I don't believe in any of this. You believe in it all. You're the epitome of it all. You would be the logo of the delusion in this goddamn world with these women, man. But
Yeah,
again, go ahead.
And then for Kendra, okay, let's say she had a man, and then and she's paying for her $2,000 wigs and $300 lashes, which she's talking about herself there. Ain't no regular woman paying $2K for no wig and lashes.
Perfect.
So she has a man and she's paying for that herself. That's what she'll have us to believe. I don't see a woman of Kendra's caliber going around, oh, my man don't pay for my wig. I pay for my wig. I pay for my lashes. Then, because the sisterhood gonna look at her like, your man broke or something? Why he not paying for all of that? That's how the sisterhood looks at it. Like you gotta flaunt what your man doing for you.
Right.
Yeah, he pay all the bills. He sent me on trips. He got all he paying for all my upkeep. You think that a woman like Kendra is going to be able to tell the sisterhood that she's solely paying for her upkeep?
And this matters. That matters. All this,
it matters.
How it looks to the sisterhood, it matters. By her, again, by her responses on this show and what she just went through, we can tell all of this matters. Look how she's dolled up. Ever since the Super Bowl, she wearing them hats. She just got ran down by Ashley Foote. She talking about the W-2s and the status and this and this and that. She tried to erase the brother from existence when all of this went down. So yeah, her image and how she presents, all of that matters. This is why this cleanup is here. And let me say this before we continue. Mind you, she claims she doesn't watch any of this. Oh, I don't watch anybody else but Kendra G. So how you know what your approval or your PR rating was after the Tamron show? You had to watch something. You had to have seen somebody say something about your appearance here. And now you feel you want to address it. Like, come on, Kendra, we know your skin ain't as thick as you want it to be, or you want us to believe it is. These things affect you. Like I'm saying, just be honest. And let's start with the self-righteous. You do represent the women on your show. I'm gonna say this before we continue. She said $2,000 wigs. In the 5 years on her show, all the guests combined haven't had $2,000 worth of wigs. That's you. $2,000 wig, that's you. When you got that dog in you and you got the Doberman Retriever on your head and all that, you got Golden Retriever on your head, that's $2,000. That's you. You're speaking about yourself. So, but then I'm speaking about myself, but I'm not speaking about myself. I'm speaking about the women on the show.
Right. That's not no average woman with no $2,000 wig. Because if you're an average woman spending $2,000 on a wig, get out of here. You spending a rent. You spending rent on your head?
That would only be
for the average woman.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That would only be the rhetoric of someone who's highfalutin, living in a penthouse up in Beverly Hills in the towers, up there flying around. This is Kendra. She's talking about herself. She's going to say the woman on her show. It's crazy. Yeah. Get out of here.
Do for myself. So a man has to be able to do the same or more.
Why can't you keep doing it for yourself?
I agree with you, Tamron, but they're like, why? If you, but I'm with you, Tamron, because I feel like I got my own money.
Don't back up now, Kendra.
So are we clear, people? Kendra G was not talking about herself in this moment. I want to break down further
the one moment when
she
Tamron Hall said, about herself.
well, a man doesn't want a broke woman either. So they're like, I don't want to make you be already made. I don't got clay. I'm not magic.
But guys don't want that either. They don't want to make us.
Well, true. But the thing with guys.
And they don't want a broke lady.
Well, no, I don't know though. Some men.
Guys, I'm
See, I had to take a pause because that actually isn't all the way true. There are some men who truly desire a woman who does not make that much money because if she doesn't, they can control her. There are men who have literally said, I want to date women who are in poverty-stricken situations because I can control her. She can't afford to leave me. She can't afford to talk back to me. These are things that men have said out of their own mouth. If you don't believe me, take a listen for yourself.
Curious to know this. You keep mentioning women in poverty. Why? Like, what's your?
Well, I'm older now. I'm not as young as I used to be. So women in poverty, I can control them better. A girl who can't afford to say, fuck you, Corey, I'm gone. She just can't afford to do it. So I take advantage of that. Now, that might be wrong, but her poverty and my needs, most of the time, it even out. I don't really need a lot of their time. And they don't tell me to fuck off because they know when I come over, they children can get some
Hold up. God damn.
some outlet Jordans. Girls in poverty, because they have a deficiency. Poverty is a deficiency out here in America. I can fix your little deficiency if you do what I want you to do. I think it's an even exchange.
Ooh, the tea.
So Corey is a comedian, and so with some dark humor as well. So Kendra would have us to believe we're supposed to take what he's saying literally.
Law.
Take what he's saying literally as the law. We all understand what Corey talking about. We got it. We got it. But Kendra, don't take what she's saying literally, but take what Corey's saying literally.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Gotcha. I gotcha.
Okay, Kendra. Try again. And then what's poverty strucken?
Strucken. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna let her cook. Okay.
Another part of the Tamron Hall interview I want to break down is when I mentioned I had a roster. Ooh, this one really got y'all upset. Take a look.
Kendra, thousands and thousands of people call you.
Yes.
They want to be on the show.
Yes.
They want your advice, but you're single.
That's right, girl, and loving it. Now, I was in a relationship last year, but this is my single season, and I love it. And single does not mean lonely. Single means nobody can't claim me.
Right.
And I got a roster. If you want to join the team, where the camera at, Cameron? Hit me up on Instagram, Kendra G Media. We got space for one. We got space
Because
for
I
one.
love that thing too, but just because you're not in a relationship doesn't mean you're not dating.
No.
And that can be your season where you're exploring yourself and what's on the landscape.
Oh, that clip got y'all so upset. Y'all got me out here as a hoe and everything. First of all, let me break down what a roster is. A roster means I'm dating. I'm not in a relationship. Not one man gets all of my time. Secondly, guess what? I'm not having sex with none of them. Sure not. I'm able to have amazing dates, actually, because there's amazing men that just want to be in my presence, and sex is not a requirement. And I encourage all women to date. If you are not in a relationship, date. You can have the time of your life. Life is amazing over here. But I want to break this down before I go. Here's why you men are goofies in real life. Because actually, on the Tamron Hall show, I was speaking for men in a lot of different dynamics.
So again, she's going to have us to believe that she's not talking about a roster for herself. And then y'all in the comments talking about, oh, it's for her business. She said, my single season, I have a roster.
Okay. So let me get this straight, right? So she's got a roster of men she's dating that don't do anything for her financially, and she's not having sex with.
Yes.
So they just want to be in her glamorous, wonderful, boisterous, joyous presence. All these high value, qualified men, right? Okay, this is what she's projecting to us. I'm just reiterating what was said. Let's go back over it again. She's got a roster of men that she doesn't sleep with. There's no access. They don't give her anything. She doesn't need anything from them. They're just there to enjoy the joyous and wonderful, boisterous blackness. That's Kendra G.
Yes.
That's what she said. Okay.
Yes.
Me personally, let me just give you my stance when she said the roster thing, and it did cause a little stir. I don't think she has a roster at all. I don't think she has much interest in men that she's interested in per se. I don't think she's dating anybody. I think that was a trauma response, just like the W-2s and the in your name and all that. This is, when you rebuke one of these sisters and you tell them, okay, we don't, or whatever, things go left, they automatic response is, I ain't want to date you anyway. I can be dating with such and such. I can do this and this and that. That's that. This is an ego trauma response. So there is no roster. There's no bunch of men that want to be in your presence. Okay, there might be, but they're not to the level that she seeks. And she's not. We just established earlier, I don't see her dating somebody that has less than her. So where does that leave us? We got a bunch of rich men that just want to be in Kendra G's presence. Okay, sure.
So she's saying that she has a bunch of qualified men, but why did you choose Ashy Foot then? Why did you end up with alleged scammer Ashy Foot? But you have a whole bunch
the options are abundant.
of qualified men, a whole roster of the pick of the litter. But
they just want to be in her presence. That's what she said. In her presence.
Okay.
Right. Okay. I got you. Okay. Got you.
Breaking down that sometimes women focus on the superficial things that don't matter, such as height, such as very expensive first dates, in order to find a real connection. If y'all didn't just have so much Kendra G hate in your soul, you would have caught all those moments. If you didn't see it, watch it right now.
I got married at 48. Woo. I ran into my husband multiple times. I thought he was trying to represent me because he was on TV. And one day I was in LA. I went out to the pool by myself. I'd had a pity party about something else. I walked to the pool and he walked over to me and asked me out for pizza. Wow. And I was like, he's a lot shorter than me. That's okay.
I get that.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Pizza with him.
And I went for pizza and we moved in like 3 weeks later.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You know what? You were willing to date a man shorter than you potentially.
Yeah.
A lot of women have height requirements. They're like, I don't want to settle. Well, right now your man is invisible. Okay? I think 5'9" is better than invisible.
And Kendra, for me, I make the joke about him being shorter than me. What it was though, and you went with defining, I was not defining myself as single.
Right.
I was not, I had lost my job. I had a lot of things that were tumult in my life at that time. And I told Stephen one day, I said, I don't know if I was still working if I would have seen you. Not having my work as my title, I saw that man. Right. And he saw me. Right. And then he clearly saw a baby too, because then we know what Moses is, and the rest is history.
The guys that I've dated in the last year, the pattern that.
So Kendra, you're telling women to, well, hey, you might want to go with the dude that's shorter. That's fine. That's cool. But then the question becomes, would you lower your standards? You know, this is their speech. They talk about this all day. Oh, I don't want to lower my standards. I'm settling. So would Kendra G lower her standards? Would she settle? Because the advice that you give to other people, you have to be willing to use that for your own life. Or if not, it don't make no sense.
There you go. It disqualifies you. It not disqualifies you, but it's disingenuous. You would tell somebody to do something. Okay, you're telling these women to settle, but in the same breath, you won't settle. Right.
I'm just asking a question.
A simple question. Like, she's telling them this and that. But again, this is the separation. Like, this is where, again, the rubber hits the road. She's making it out like they're desperate and they should do this. And her options are abundant and da-da-da. But she just got beguiled by Ashy Foot. So this doesn't make sense. But quick moment aside, BSO kinfolk, let us handle our memberships for this Membership Monday. First up, member from downtown 296. We appreciate you for your membership, brother. We thank you. Next up, we'll head over into the contributors. Our top contributor so far, Irving P, 6859. He's in the lead with a strong $30. Thank you very much, Irving P. Next up, we have from downtown 296. He's in second with a nice $12 donation. Thank you for your contribution. Next up, we have El Paulino with a $4.99 super sticker. We thank all of y'all for your generous contributions on the channel. And everybody else, don't forget, you can opt into the membership program so you can be shouted out on Membership Mondays. Now, back to the video. Let us continue.
That I've seen with them is that it's almost like they feel this need to have everything in their life built before they can let love in. Whereas women more generally, we are so like nurturing, and we can see us like building a life together, at least for me.
Where these women at? They don't call my show. They're not trying to work.
So
You better come. Like the one that calls my show, like I love that Tamron was open to a pizza date. These girls like 5-star restaurant on day one before you get my first name. And that's the issue though, because you see how Tamron, who richer than all of us, child, you know, and very successful, was willing to go on a pizza date, and now she's married to the man of her dreams. So we need more Tamrons to understand that, listen, you can be a boss woman, but the things that matter more, don't make it so high just to date for sure.
And I think
there's another moment in which they showed a clip from my show, and it's a real popular guest, Dave. Dave is actually now married. But years ago, Dave was on my show, and a lot of women got upset about Dave's preference. And a lot of women in the audience were still upset about Dave's preferences. And I actually defended Dave and his preferences. Take a look.
Come on, man.
But I remember watching that when it aired. She let a woman come up there and try to counter and refute Dave.
Him old and
his stuff
and
don't
pedophile,
work.
PDF file, they call it.
I remember that.
We watched the episode. So yeah, you defending him now. You went to his wedding now, but you was the one giving him all this strife. I remember his quote. The brother said he wanted a responsive box and a willing throat. Like that was a quote that stuck with me. And she brought another woman. I don't know if she was a past guest or whatever, but somebody out the thing to try to shame him for his preference and all that. So to go to his wedding and you owed him that. I believe she owed him that. But now she's coming up here like she defended Dave the whole time. She was in Dave's corner. That's BS. Her whole dating show is on a feminist. She has a one-sided dating show, basically. It's on a feminist slant, and she's telling you about a single season. And we and women are we're listening to this. We're not only women, as I found out this past week, but we're letting her message go around, and she's talking crazy. This doesn't even make sense. That's a conflict of interest. And she should have bigged that man up, because she totally dissed him, brung women on here to refute him, or during his interview when it's supposed to be him listing out whatever he wants. She's never done that to a woman. I wish I would see her when one of these 7 kids, non-baby daddy women come up here and a man want to refute them from the comments. She ain't gonna let them up there. So
there was only one time, and this is recent. The Dave's interview was years ago, but recently she let her co-host Zach refute a lady on her standards, but not just like a regular, guest in the somebody in the comments. She let Zach, a co-host, refute
respectfully.
her. Yeah.
Shout out to Zach too, by the way.
Loud looking. Oh, we have a clip from Kendra. Yes. I'm gonna brace myself because I've not seen this clip. Let's play. This gentleman over here grabbed his heart. Me too, sir. Let's play Kendra's from her show, Loud Looking.
I'm looking for a wife. I want to find the right person, right? So being that I'm divorced, being that I'm older, I know what I want and I know what I don't want.
So let's get into it. What do you want, Dave?
Well, first of all, I like a woman that is naturally beautiful. I can do extensions and things like that, but she got to have some hair. Like she got to have edges. She got to have her own hair.
No.
We don't have a lot to say right now.
No.
He's married.
Kendra.
He got married.
Kendra, God bless him. And I'm sure he's an amazing man. And congratulations to his amazing wife. You said he got married.
He got married. I went to his wedding last year. And the woman saw his video from my show. He got married last year.
Does she have her own hair?
She has her own edges. She's beautiful. She has full hair. So I'm about to show y'all an exclusive. This clip didn't even make the episode because, TV, you have to edit things down. This clip I'm about to show you didn't even make the episode, but I say this during the Dave moment. And what I said was because people were challenging Dave and his preferences. And I said, well, he has the right to his preferences because if he doesn't, then women can't be as direct and have their preferences. And Tamron even agrees with what I had to say. But this one clip just didn't make the episode. But I got it to show you guys right now. Watch. We gotta be fair on both sides. That means women shouldn't have height requirements. Agreed. Women shouldn't have complexion requirements. Agreed. Women shouldn't have money requirements because that's where it gets tricky. Because you're speaking my language. Right. I think that's the opposite because I hear a lot of women saying, if he's not 6 feet, if he doesn't make 100K, if he's not dark skinned, I am settling. And I hear this time and time again. You're asking me to settle. So I feel like if men can't be as direct, then women can't be as direct because that's kind of like it has to be equal then. So now that I pretty much broke down the Tamron Hall interview, and I know a lot of you content creators need me, like y'all are riding off of my coattail, child, because y'all cannot create energy or motion for your own life. I just encourage you to make sure that you report facts, because when you report lies, there are repercussions that your ass probably cannot handle. Take that as a little warning or as a big one.
So she trying to threaten to sue you if you use her content. I get what you're trying to say.
Kendra can't sue anybody. First and foremost.
Fair use,
Bingo.
hon.
She could sue people if she changed her platform. Go on network, get on network TV. Get your show picked up somewhere where it's not on YouTube. Because on YouTube, whether she likes it or agrees with people reviewing her content, it falls under the guidelines and the restrictions. If she could strike somebody, she would have did it already. She can't. She can't. It's just point blank, period. So again, Kendra, there's things you can do. I'm not even gonna give her no suggestions or whatever's the case. I'm gonna let her figure it out. But because again, we've used this analogy before. When somebody makes a movie or they make a TV series or a show or anything like that, it's up for debate. It's up for review. You can't control if you approve of the review or if you agree with the review or if it's giving you smoke. It has to be to the liking that you require once you put it out. Once you put it out to the public, it's up for public consumption. You can't control the narrative and because they're not reviewing it favorably and they're telling the truth and you're not, you want to get them stricken down or get their channels taken down or have some kind of legal action. Or you could do that all you want. But again, what you don't understand and what she doesn't want to acknowledge is these reviews bring energy and this motion that you speak up to your platform. Like they helped you blow up. We see it in the comments all the time. Or if it wasn't for reviews, I wouldn't even know who she was. So I think you should take that into consideration. But if you want to take that way, you can go let her do what she want to do. Because this is going to be, again, this is what's going to be her downfall. She's going to do what she wants to do. Regardless if it's positive for the platform, this is all about her ego and what she built. And this is my thing. And I made this and all that. Okay, cool. Pride comes before the fall. So if you take away the reviewers and that motion on your platform, that's going to take away your viewership. But you got your apps and all the things you charging these women for. You're capitalizing off the pain, plight, misery of these Black women that you claim to be lockstep and speaking for. You're exploiting them. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, she's exploiting these women. She's rich and in that penthouse off the tears and loneliness of the women she claims to be in arms with, who she really looks and talks down to. But nobody wants to realize that. She getting her paper and I ain't even trying to knock her hustle. But again, Tupac said it before in one of his songs. You made a G today, but you made it in the sleazy way. Hence the name. Shout out to MABW, Kendra Sleaze. Like she's profiting, she's eating, she looking good, she got her money up, and her bag is full, but she got to step on y'all, the ladies and the baby mamas and the people that are really in some turmoil and really need some folks. She's gonna feign like she's got this zest to find you a companionship, and she wants everybody to be paired off and all that. Y'all believe that bullshit if you want to. Okay, I seen through this phony a long time ago. She's very phony to me, and me personally, this is a personal note. I just don't like phony people. Once I see that, like that's the type of energy you giving off, then I can't take you seriously. Her message is poison to the community, and she just lining her pockets off the tears and misery of everybody else. Who gave her the exclusive rights? If she can eat off it, then the YouTube street's gonna eat off it. Like she's not the sole proprietor of Black woman's plight, pain, suffering and all of that. Like, and I see something else. They're propping her up. She's getting these looks like she do speak for the populace of Black women, and she's locked in tune with them. And that's far from the truth. But that's my rant about this. I ain't gonna sign out. I'm gonna turn it over to Queen, and we're gonna close it out from there.
So Kendra's trying to clean it up, her appearance or whatnot. So if you see that the YouTube streets are saying, they're saying all of this about you, or they're saying a false narrative of whatever she's trying to say, then how about you just say, hey, I know y'all took it that way, but that's not what I intended it as. And so instead of trying to clean it up and make it seem like everybody else is dumb and unintelligent and y'all are broke and y'all can't be like me and all of that, why won't you just say that? It's like she just won't own up to it. Hey, I said some stuff. I see how y'all took it. That's not how I intended it. I was talking about women in a general sense, not me. This is her whole reason for this video, is to say that she's talking about women in general, not from her perspective.
You know, you can misrepresent yourself, or, you know, be on TV and, you know, speak, didn't come across the way you wanted to. She could have owned that and just moved on. But she goes through a single season. I guess this is clapback season. And, you know, she was on the tear. She's been in comments. She's making individual videos and this, and that's fine. She has every right to defend her position. But for somebody who seems to, who presents herself like she's above it all and she doesn't see it and she's unbothered, we can look at her and tell if the podcast men were trying to bother her and rattle her, they are rattling her. Ever since the Super Bowl, Tam hats. At the Tamron Hall, you making individual site videos and going back. She clapping at Corey Holcomb. She's in comments. It was getting to her. So you got to have tough skin to do this. I don't know. You know, the flowers are starting the bloom is coming off the rose. You know what I mean? I think the bloom is coming off the rose. So she's got her money, and she's probably feeling that she's at that Teflon stage. Like, oh, they can't touch me. I'm above it all now. I made it. I got the subscriptions and that. So we'll see how this plays out.
We'll see.
In the overall sense.
And one last thing is, we have been watching Kendra for probably over 4 years. So we pretty much watch every video. We don't watch all of her lives, but every clip that she puts, we watch it because we started off watching this as entertainment, and we decided to create a channel to cover this and get the message out and whatnot. So I say all of that to say is that we have observed her personality. We know what her personality is, at least her online personality. And we know, we can gather that she is talking about herself. I don't know how many videos people really watched of Kendra. I don't know what their observation skills is like, but we are very observant.
Very.
and whatnot. So we know what her personality is like. She's talking about herself.
Absolutely.
She might have mentioned the women and all of that. She can't separate herself from these women because they are her and she is them.
So true.
They are each other.
So true.
And she got a little money, and it doesn't even matter that she got money. She's still like them. She's
money.
She's like them with money.
Yeah. She's the epitome. That's why I called her the epitome. She got the money. She has no babies. You see these women leaving these kids for years, and they don't want the babies. They want to be somewhere rich, sitting somewhere on top of a penthouse, overspending somebody else's money. That's what they want to do, and that's what she represents. That's why it's hard for her to speak to them.
Yes,
it's just
she's the final
thing. Yeah, go ahead.
She's the final boss. This is who they strive to be.
Yep. Powered up, definitely powered up.
Yeah,
and as last thing again, like, she's not the only person hosting a dating show. Melly didn't get that much smoke. I don't know if she still does the pineapple show, but when she was doing it, Arlette doesn't get that much smoke when she does Pop the Balloon because they don't bleed themselves onto the show. She's just a host. Arlette just hosts. Melly just hosts. Like, if you want to just be the host, just be the host. But when you add your feminism and your slants and your rhetoric, that's what I think disqualifies you. But we're going to leave that right there. We ain't going to stay too much longer on this. You know, we said we had to say, we've exhausted it. We've refuted it. I hope that everybody can understand our stance. We're not haters. We don't. She can have whatever she wants. She can have all the money she wants. Spend it all the wigs, hats, makeup, all that. It doesn't really matter to me. It's the rhetoric and the message. See too many young girls coming up here, and we need a counterbalance. She's not the most qualified. Even though she has the ear of the black woman, she's not the most qualified to speak to them. I can name you 10 places you can go to get better information. But we'll leave that right there. This is fun. It's always all in fun. We have nothing against Kendra. Go sub to her platform. Check out all her medias. Get on the app if you need to. Y'all can do all of that. And that's it. We appreciate y'all for coming out. Stay tuned. We got bangers coming. You know, we stay with the content. We're just going to keep hitting y'all. Irregardless, the streets going to eat, whether Kendra wants us to or not. So y'all be safe. Have a good night. We catch y'all on the next one.